In multifamily, if you're an LP investor and you come into a deal, you put in $100,000. We're going to do a cost segregation, and that study comes back, and you can take depreciation up to 40% year one. My objective is to not pay taxes. Martial arts taught me about systems and process. You go for 3 months, you test. You either fail or pass.
Was the laws better before?
Trump had 100% when he started, but he wants to reinstate the 100% depreciation. This is the reason multifamily blows away every investment. So...
You haven't been divorced. 34 years.
34 years. I met my wife when she was 17. Took her to her prom.
And you've been married ever since?
Happily married ever since. That's the key.
Well, how do you do that?
Well, the first and foremost, this is the part that most people miss, and I'm sure you're going to agree with me. Get the right one. Without the right one, it's impossible. So I found the right one up front. And then do the right thing. You know, don't not come home. I think I missed home. Not recently. I'm doing more traveling, looking at apartment complexes. But for the majority of our relationship, I was home every night. Large majority. 30 years. So
the right one's the right answer. Because you can go home every night. If you got the wrong one, you're screwed.
Yep.
Folks, this dude's a 5th degree black belt.
Yep.
He breaks bricks, literally. And they're not fake. Okay. No. I would have had a personal demonstration, but my assistant thought he was going to pitch me something. So she said, no demos.
No demos. I understand that.
So again, you guys can follow him. You can look him up. Michael Mannino on LinkedIn. What's your Instagram? It doesn't say here.
Instagram? Mike Sr.
Mike Sr.
Michael Mannino Sr. Yes.
Michael.
I got to watch it because my son is Michael Mannino II. And a lot of people call me up, hey, man, I'm talking about this deal. And I'm like, I think you're talking about my son. Oh, what's his number?
Why the second, not junior?
We call each other senior, junior, second, or first.
But is it a junior?
It's Michael. It's the same name. So we can. I didn't specify it on the birth certificate. So it's Michael Mannino the second. It's not the second. It's just Michael Mannino.
Yeah.
Same name.
I've always wondered when people literally put their name junior.
Right. It's a suffix.
I just wonder where that started.
Huh?
I just wonder where that started.
That's a good question.
Junior.
Wanted to let you know that, and I'm going to let everybody know that my son's going to make me a grandpa.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 32.
What's he been waiting on? You must have raised him right.
I did. I raised him to find the right one, and he found the right one. That's really the key.
Dude, nowadays, that's pretty important, finding the right one and doing it right. Because, when I was a kid, I had a kid when I was 17.
Right.
Because I found the right one.
Right.
Back then, the right one was the willing one.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's the right one as far as I'm concerned. When I'm 17, anyone that would say yes was the right one.
Well, I met my wife at 17, so I can't really say. And I got blessed. I got blessed by God to get the right one. I swear. It was
when you guys met. Did you start possibly having babies, or did you wait like you're supposed to?
I had to wait till she was 18. I wanted to wait till she was 18.
Yeah, you said I had to.
Yeah.
Well, how old were you?
22.
Oh, yeah.
Now I don't look so good.
You definitely better wait.
Yeah. It wasn't close. Yeah.
It depends on what state you're in too.
Right.
But dude, when you look at stuff like that, it always bothers me because technically, dude, you could have got in trouble, and there's nothing wrong with 17 and 19, 17 and 20.
Right. Exactly.
But at the end of the day, that's technically against the rules. But you obviously, to be a 5th degree black belt, have been studying a while. When did you start that?
My son got me into it I've been into it all my life. I've been an aficionado or a connoisseur, but my son came home with a flyer from his school. Hey, I want to take martial arts. And I'm like, dude, he was 8 years old. I'm like, that's a lot of work, man. I go, I think you see the good part of it, but on TV with all the Power Rangers at the time, I go, but this is effort. This is discipline. And you're 8, right? And he goes, yeah, I want to do it. So we put him in, and then my wife took him. And I did the work. And then she goes, you got to take him. I got to go to my mom's house. You got to take him to karate. I'm like, oh, all right. So I get in there, and I'm sitting in these bleachers in this gymnasium, and there's guys and girls, adults with their kids. Where else can you do anything with your kids? Not be a soccer coach, actively doing something with your kids. And I'm looking at all these father's sons, father's daughters, mother's sons. I get up about 15 minutes later. I go to the head guy and I go, I can't do this anymore. And he goes, why? Are you going to pull your kid out of the class? I'm like, no, I got to join. He goes, oh, okay. So he signs me up. Today, I'm that guy. I'm the guy running the place. And
what's the studio?
Studio's in Michigan, American Martial Arts Academy in Lake Orion, Michigan.
Is that a franchise or is that yours?
It will be soon because I moved to South Carolina. That's a good question. But it's going to be a franchise because I'm going to open an American Martial Arts Academy in South Carolina because my grandson's going to have to learn how to do karate.
Why did you choose karate? Just because back in those days, karate was basically martial arts?
Martial arts is a holistic adventure. And it's really... everybody asks me, well, you put your pajamas on and go play karate? I'm like, yeah, that's what we do. But what is it? What is martial arts? And I thought about it for years. It's to hone yourself into the best person you can possibly be. They challenge you every belt, man. Do this kick. Now put a spin on it. Jump and spin and do the kick. Now do a hurricane, a triple kick. Now break that brick. Now break that piece of wood. Now how many bricks can you break? How many pieces of wood can you break? And it challenged you and it taught me so much about life. I'm literally going to write a book about how martial arts has changed my life and business.
Nowadays, what art would you pick?
American Martial Arts Academy, which is traditional Murukwon Tong Sudo. But now if I were to do it over, MMA has the least amount of rules. So in my style, pugilistic stand-up, it's fighting. As soon as someone hits the ground, the referee breaks you up. There's no referee on the streets, right? Yeah. In jiu-jitsu, you can grapple and all that stuff. But if you don't have a gi or dobak, they can't grip you, right? MMA has the least amount of rules, which I would think is the best art.
But MMA isn't an art. It's a mix of them all, isn't it?
It is an art. It is an art because it's the mix of them all.
So
you're thinking of traditional.
Yeah, but you go study MMA. There's where I can go learn MMA. Mm-hmm. Oh, I always thought MMA is mixed martial arts, but it wasn't an art. It was a mix of them.
But that's the style is the mix. Mine's a pugilistic style, stand up fighting. Then a ref stops you if you fall. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Kung Fu, all those other ones, they all have parts of it. MMA has it all. So what would be the truth? Back in the day, you ever watch Bruce Lee?
Of course.
Yeah, Bruce Lee is probably the first mixed martial artist. He was
I thought he was karate.
He was Kung Fu, and he started Jeet Kune Do, which I took. But he knew the grappling, he knew the groundwork. He taught, Chuck Norris learned a lot from him. In his style, you weren't supposed to kick higher than the waist. More balance, right? Chuck Norris started showing him the wheelhouse kicks and the spin kicks and the triple kicks. He showed Bruce Lee that. Chuck Norris showed him that. And Chuck Norris is my style. I don't know if you know this. My grandmaster's grandmaster gave Chuck Norris a couple belts. He was showing me a picture and I go, hey, what's this? He goes, Chuck Norris testing. I go, where? He goes, Detroit. That's where we're from. And I go, are you in there? He goes, yeah, there's a bunch of colored belts and red belts. I go, which one are you? He goes, look on the board. And the board is the one that examines his test and then presents him his belt. And it was Korean, white guy, David J. Preem. He gave Chuck Norris his fourth dan, master's belt.
How long do you think it would take me to earn a black belt now?
Each school's different. Depends how much you go. So,
because I heard like 10 years for a jiu-jitsu black belt.
For the upper echelon jiu-jitsu guys, absolutely. See, jiu-jitsu is a little bit different. Like we have a systems and process. And that's, martial arts taught me about systems and process. You go for 3 months, you test. You either fail or pass. You go for another 3 months, you test, pass or fail. And then if you keep passing, it's a 5-year program. Now it's 3.5 to 5 years, depending on how much you go, obviously. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, some schools are upper echelon schools. UFC. I got to fight at Randy Couture's one year. Those guys cleaned my clock in seconds. But I don't think they can break as much as I can. But it would take you about, find the school, find the art. Which art would you do?
Me?
Yeah.
MMA.
MMA, there's no belts.
I just heard it was an art. Sounds like a good one.
It's a great one, but there's no belts. There's no belts at MMA. I'm sorry.
Well, how do you know if you're good? By kicking someone's ass?
It's how it works, man. The belt doesn't make the master.
Yeah, to me, it's not. I'm not about a belt anyway. So MMA is starting to sound attractive. I'm not about a belt. I'm about your ability and your confidence and your ability to. Because the only reason I would do it is to protect if I needed to. Because right now I'm looking around and it's like, you can see somebody that doesn't look like anything and make a little bit of an accident and say, hey, next thing you know, you're twisted up like a pretzel with a broken wrist.
Exactly. So I learned that when I was in Jet Kune Do. I was inside, we were training inside a racquetball center. And then we do knuckle push-ups, punch walls, and I saw this little Oriental guy outside, and he's looking at my instructor. My instructor was a badass. He would step in the middle of 8 of us and goes, attack me. We just got our asses handed to us. And then he goes to the guy in the window, a little Oriental guy, and he waves his hand, and the guy takes off. I go, who was that? I could take that guy. He's 130 pounds. I could take him. I was a white belt. I could take this guy. He goes, that was my instructor. He said, you're okay to keep going with your school.
Damn.
Never start a fight. Never start. That's what martial arts teaches. There's a lot that
have you ever had to finish a fight?
Not so at my level. It's not. I have a hard time getting in fights because if someone were to come up and say, I'm going to kick your ass, I'd be like, all right, let's do it. I got to pay people at my level to get to the next level. I got to pay people to kick my ass. Show me more, right? 7th, 8th, 9th dans. I got to get better. So I got to pay people. If you're going to do it for free, let's do it.
You're saying dans.
Degrees of black belt. I'm sorry.
I know, but wouldn't that be Dobbs?
Dan, D-A-N. It's a Korean language, but it's the closest to American is D-A-N, Dan. First Dan, first degree. Second Dan, second degree. And
but why do they call it a Dan?
That's the Korean term for it. And it just means degree of black belt.
Interesting.
Yeah. Some of the words are similar, like Shijak. What does that sound like to you?
Shijak?
Yeah.
Shijak? Yeah. Shijak? I don't know.
Go man. What does that mean? Stop. So it's a Korean language. So it's a little bit different. Whenever we teach in Korean.
Is karate Korean?
No, karate is all the arts. Karate is all arts. Karate just means open hand fighting. Right? And so that's what you were doing. Then you have a weapon in your hand and, that's still karate too.
So if your kid was headed to prison, tough place, and you wanted him to be able to protect himself and he only had 1 year to study something, which one would he?
MMA. MMA for sure. Without a doubt. It's the fastest, easiest way, but you're not belted. My son's already a black belt. My daughter's a black belt. My wife's a second degree black belt.
My little girl just said she wants to do karate.
How old is she?
9.
Perfect.
Yeah. I said, let's do it. But mom has to say yes. And mom doesn't like it because she has to go, stay there. And she said, they make her kick me. And I'm like, what?
Do it with her.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's 3:00 in the afternoon.
Do it.
I'm still trying to get my 7th dawn in business.
You got your 7th dawn in business, dude. You're one of the most successful people I know. You're killing it.
I'd agree with that in a life sense because I'm happy and I think that's what it's about. But it's not financially. Financially, dude, I said I'd be a billionaire. I should have already been one. I spent a bunch of money showing off like I'm a billionaire, and I really wasn't. So now I got to be like, now that I grew up, I'm like, damn it. I need to hurry up and go get situated.
Invest in multifamily.
Multifamily. How long ago? And you were in construction before.
Correct.
So that helps.
It helps a lot.
Because again, every time I start to get into multifamily myself, everyone wants me to invest in theirs, which I don't mind doing. But at the end of the day, I want to know it so I can go do it all by myself. I don't really want to invest.
You don't want to do it by yourself.
Why?
I do it, and it's a pain in the butt.
I know, but you're making the biggest amount of money, aren't you?
Well, so I'm trying to find LPs, limited partners, people that just want to invest, like
get a return.
I have a real heart for doctors. They're heroes for a living. They save people's lives. And then people just take advantage of my investing. I just did this recently, and I'm telling you, it blew my mind. What is the returns on stocks? And that's what most people do. What's a good return on stocks average over 30 years?
10%.
10%. Okay. At 8%, if you were to put $100,000 in for 20 years, what are you going to have?
I need my calculator.
You're going to have around $500,000. In multifamily,
I thought it was every 7 it doubled.
And not at 8%, it doesn't. Now, nowhere near that.
Really?
No.
So what's the
at
multifamily?
10%? At 10%, it's every 10 years, correct? So in multifamily, if you put $100,000 in, we shoot for, most multifamily investments shoot for around 18%. And if you were to put 18% for 2 years, you're making $2.6 million.
In 20.
And on top of that, that's just the $100,000. That's
what are your LPs making?
LPs, each deal is totally different. My LPs generally make around 7% a year. And then, at a total at the end, you're making around anywhere from 15 to 20%. I only find good deals. All I do is look for good deals and good partners. That's all I do all day. I do that 24/7.
How do you know where the good deals are?
Great question. You got to find the right area. So where's the best area? We've got some assets in Michigan. I got an 11 unit in Michigan and a 16 unit in North Carolina. The 11 units, taxes are more than the 16 units in South Carolina. It's where the asset sits. Texas is a great market. South Carolina, North Carolina, we love. Florida was a great market about 5 years ago, but tax and insurance are killing it. Tennessee and Kentucky. So
I got a house in Tennessee. Should I start looking around there?
I would definitely. So yes, absolutely.
Are you looking for a shithole?
Well, so no, but you can. Remember you were telling me about your dad had how many unit? Your uncle? How many unit?
I don't know. I was a kid.
20 unit, 30 unit?
But it was a little shithole in the Dalles, Oregon.
Freaking awesome. Buy it, fix it up, and then just like the Burr method, what we do is we found a property, it was a good deal. We put some money into it, great deal. We raised the rents, we pulled our money out, and now we have no money in the deal, so it's infinite returns. And we're going to keep it as long as my partners will allow me to.
Well, I would always think, in my mind, if you're buying it from somebody, it can't be that good a deal, or why would they be selling it?
Well, time is, so let's just say it's at value. We'll call at value today.
Whose value?
Great question. And this is a bomb here. You want a bomb? Every time you sell real estate, I don't care what it is. We have a flipping company in Michigan. We have a systems and process. The last thing we do is get an appraisal. You can get an appraisal on anything, cars, boats, houses. We get an appraisal on every piece of property we sell. We sell a that or above. And then when the, sales, what's the first thing someone's going to say when they want the house? Hey, we don't think it's worth that much. We don't think, your house is worth $450. Here's an appraisal from an independent appraiser. It says it's worth $450. Now, what can they say?
I can say, who's that dude?
He's licensed. He's a third party.
Yeah, you can pay those to be fake, can't you?
I don't, but yeah.
Why not? You do, but I'm just saying. You hand me an appraisal, that don't mean shit.
Well, that's fine, but then it gives the person a little bit of comfort because and also what it does, we leave the appraisal on the countertops when we sell the house, and their appraiser comes in. Sometimes they pick it up and think, oh, my job's done.
Well, maybe it's distressed in some way. Like when you said it was a good deal, like why'd you get it for less than appraisal?
There's multiple reasons. Usually they're trashed. Usually the landlords are tired. This one we bought. Yeah,
that's why I want to find out, because I want to know what to go look for, because I'm driving around Tennessee and I see apartment unit. And I'm like, dude, I let me go see who owns that. And I want that. Why? Because it looks a little shabby.
Right.
Where if you just like, let's say, for example, rent's $1,000 and it's shabby.
Right.
You go in there and you buy the damn thing and you're not going to pay retail because it's shabby.
Right.
So you go in there and all of a sudden a little coat of paint and a little landscape, dude, thing looks nice. Hey, it's $1,200 a month rent now.
Right.
Well, the value of that place just went up because your cash flow goes up.
We bought apartments at $600 rent, and the guy didn't know what to rent it for. He's an old guy, had it for a long time, real nice guy. We bought it, and then we got the rents up to $1,000. We fixed it up. We're at $1,050, almost $1,100 now. When we bought it, it was appraised at 1.1. Today, it's appraised at 1.7. We pulled all our money out. That's how we pulled all our money out of refi.
Just raising the rent?
Raising the rents.
Well, how come it's only worth $600,000 more when you doubled the rent?
A lot of it, where does it sit? How old is it? There's a lot of factors that go into an appraisal.
How much did you have to put into it?
$150. Bought it for $850, probably had $1 million into it. We had it appraised for 1.7. We pulled 1.2 something out of it.
And then how much did you get to write off on taxes because of it?
Oh, that's the kicker. The write-off on taxes. So,
because you got to factor that into the value, don't you?
You do. So there's ARR and AIR, and one of them determines the cost we do cost segregations. This is the reason multifamily blows away every investment, period, by far and away. So in multifamily, if you're an LP investor and you come into a deal, we got some deals going on right now, and you put in $100,000 into a deal. I'm just using round numbers, and right now we're going to do a cost segregation, and that study comes back, and you can take depreciation up to 40% year one right now. So out of $100,000, even if it's $1 million, that $40,000, you don't pay the first $40,000 of your taxes that year.
So that saves you technically what, about 32 grand?
Something like that. And there's depreciation every year after that.
Or no, you said 40,000?
40,000, you get
16 grand.
16 grand, there you go. Depending on what you pay.
Yeah.
And right now, my objective is to not pay taxes.
Was the laws better before?
Trump had 100% when he started. But
you think
Biden over the years
changed?
adopted to 80 the year 1 year, then 60 the year after. Now we're at 40. But he wants to reinstate the 100% depreciation.
Well, he should.
It's going to make it impossible to beat in every investment.
Have you tried other investments?
I've done everything. Well, in real estate, I have. We own a flipping company. We love flipping. I love building. I love flipping. I love anything to do with that. But when it comes to how much you make and how much you save in taxes, multifamily blows everything away by far and away.
And why not build them if you're a builder?
Good question. No, I'm planning on building one. We're looking for the right lot in the right area. So you have to find a nice piece of property that's, finding a good deal. That's all we do is hunt for good deals all day. So we find a good deal in a nice area, Charleston, anywhere like outside of major Raleigh. We'll say Raleigh. Outside of major Raleigh, the rents are around $1,500. Then you can build, right? But if the rents are $1,200, then the ROI isn't. You can't make the numbers work. So there's some really cool numbers that I go by. It really helps me to understand, to evaluate a deal and move on. Right? We call it the 1% rule. You know what the 1% rule is, right? So if you want to buy an apartment complex and they want to sell for $100,000 and the rents are $800, automatically I know that deal doesn't work because you want the apartments to be getting, now it's 1.4 because the interest rate went up.
Wouldn't it matter how many doors there are though?
It all equals out the same on per door. So let's say you're paying $100,000 a door, right? And you're getting $1,000 a month. That's the 1% rule. 1% of what you paid for the building is what you're getting a month in rent. Those usually work out. Anything more is just cake work. If it's $1,200 and you're paying $100,000 a door, you're making $1,200. Those are easy sells. Hard to find though.
Okay, so just adding, clarity. I'm driving down the road. I see an apartment building. I roll over. I'm like, hey, what are you guys paying for rent? They say,
there you go,
$1,600. And then I say to the owner, hey, what do you want for this building? And they say, what was the formula?
160,000
100 a door. So let's say they want 5 million. And I say, how many doors you got? And they say, oh, there's 40 units. Not a good deal.
Well, it depends. You bust it up per door. You
I
just
know.
do the math on it.
Well, I did. If there's 40 doors and they want $5 million, it's more than $100,000 a door.
Then it's an easy no.
But $1,600 a unit. I'll do math easily, so I can do math easily. Let's say it's $2,000 a unit, 40 doors. To me, I do the math quick. I go, okay.
40 times
I'm trying to figure out an easy formula, because when I start talking, I want to know what a good deal sounds like first before I worry about all the other bullshit.
Per door. Let's say 10 units, and they want 1.6 for it. They want 160 a door. Right? You go 20 units, then they want, 160 a door, then they're going to want 3.2. So,
and but that's not the formula. You said so rent would have to be, if it's 160 a door, rent would need to be 1,600 or more.
Correct.
But if I said, how much is rent around here? We're getting 2,200 a unit. You go, that's a deal.
Then you can make the numbers work relatively easily.
So the 1% rule is, what's the rent? What's the price?
The rent and what's the price per door?
Okay. I want to get this straight.
Yeah.
So I roll down, I don't care if it's a 700 unit, what do you want? It's $1 million. It's $100 million.
$100 million.
Well, that's why I'm wondering, it matters how many units, because you got to figure out what's the rent times the units. No?
Well, not
or
really.
You just say, how much is it per door?
So purchase price, the 1% rule per door, those you can make work. Now, because of interest rates hike, when it was 3%, 3%, it was easy to make that work. Now it's a lot harder. So you want to go 1.4, 1.5, 1.6.
Okay. So if someone says, I want $5 million for that property, I clearly didn't count the doors. So I have to say how many doors, right?
Correct.
Okay. So $5 million, how many doors?
100 doors.
We have 100 doors. Okay. So that's 50,000 a door.
How much is your rent?
$317. Nope.
No deal.
So $620.
$620 deal.
Yeah.
See, it's easy.
So, but as long as it's 500 or more, it's a deal, you said, right?
It's like you're over what the 1% rule is. Yes.
Okay, good.
You can make
that's
those
good for
work.
That's good value right there for beginners.
There you go.
Because I'm going to get into it. I got a little money,
right?
But I don't want to invest it and get back 7% when your ass is getting 18. What do you say to those people?
Go ahead and get the 7%. If you want to make in 20 years, you want to make $500,000, or in 20 years, you want to make 2.6. It's completely up to you.
Well, you're also looking for people that don't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah. You're like, you want the money? I'm going to make a little something, but I'll do it all. You just give me the money.
No, you don't give me the money. You give the apartment complex. So apartment complex is like a company, right? The first thing you do is open an LLC, right? You give the money to them, and you're a shareholder in that company. The value is protected.
But you're limited.
You're limited in the work.
How do I be a GP?
GP is a nightmare, but go right ahead. So you got to find the property, underwrite the property, get the deal, get all the contractors out there to make sure that you're going to, that it's worth it. And then you got to try and raise the money, go to the banks, deal with the banks. Banks are a lot of fun right now, just so you know. And find a property manager, and you're the ones that can deal with all the headaches.
What happens if a GP wants my money and I say, but I want to be GP? There's like a benefit, I think, isn't there? I have people approach me all the time. One guy just said, I got 73 units.
Right.
I can call him, I forget where. 73 units. And I'm like, okay, they want 4-point-something million bucks. And I'm like, should I do it? Should I not do it? And I didn't have this formula. I wish I did.
Talk to me. Give me a call. I'll talk to you.
All right.
I'll underwrite them for you.
All right. Well, that's why I'm always so leery, because dude, you can get screwed buying multifamily if you don't know what you're doing. No,
exactly. Now, what you just point on something. Here's another gold bomb. What is fear?
False evidence appearing real.
That's a good one. It's a good one. To me, it's an
forget everything and run.
For me, it's really fear is your unseen opponent. You don't have to conquer it. You just don't create it. How do you not create fear in your situation that you're talking about right now?
Go do it.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
If you had not anything you know in and out, are you scared of?
Nope.
Right.
Except for, I don't know it in and out, but.
Right. If you knew something in and out, you wouldn't be afraid of it.
Yeah, like death, I was going to say. I don't know death because I've never died, but, I fear it.
Well, don't fear it. So how do you conquer the fear?
I fear getting in a fight with a black belt.
Then don't start a fight. Here's the beautiful black belts. We are charged with never starting a fight. Legally, if you were to come at me, let me explain something about being a black belt. Remember back in the day where Mel Gibson registered weapons bullshit? It's not registered weapons. It's the same law that every police officer has to use. You're about 2 or 3 inches taller than me and you're built like a shit brick house. So if you were to come at me, you'd have the ability to kill me.
It's brick shit house.
Okay, whatever.
He said I'm built.
Editors, fix the problem.
Shit brick house.
Brick shit house. So if a 150-pound guy was drunk, came at me, I know how to kill people. I know about several different ways to kill people. And I were to kill him, I would go to jail. He doesn't have the ability to kill me, and he's drunk, right? Now, if someone had a knife and they had the ability to kill me, right, then I could kill them. And here's one of the worst mistakes I've made in my third dan testing. This was horrible. And all of my instructors were sitting in front of me. It was the worst mistake I've ever made in martial arts. They wear you out, man. It's a 4-hour test, 3 days long. And I'm at the last 5 minutes of it, and it's, everybody grabs a bat, a weapon, a knife, and this little kid had a rubber knife, and he's coming at me. And I pulled the knife out of his hand, and then I stuck him in the neck. And I just looked at the board, and they just went. So that's how fast you have to think. So the law is the only reason you can kill somebody is in self-defense. The second I took that knife from that kid, he didn't have the ability to kill me. The next second I stuck it in his neck. I should know better. And then all my instructors, at the end of the test, they go, "How'd you do?" And I said, "I did good until I murdered somebody." He goes, "Yeah, you did." But it goes that fast.
Is that what they're looking for?
So, yeah, the police officers...
You think that's why they sent a kid? I thought it was the kid part, that you shouldn't be killing a kid.
He had a knife. It was representation. So police officers have to do the same thing called due force. It's called due force. So I've seen, this is kind of cool, due force. I've seen a bank robber. The guy came out of the bank, aimed his gun right to the ground, started walking over, hopped in his car and took off. Cops are like, "Freeze, get on the ground, get it." But they couldn't shoot him until he pulled it up and aimed it at the cops. He didn't have the ability to kill them. Then he had intent in killing them. And he knew to keep his gun straight to the ground, walked right in his car, took off, became a police chase. Due force. That's really what police officers have to use. That's what martial artists have to do too.
Let's get back to the money.
Okay, shoot.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Because every time I talk about martial arts, I always drive by a jiu-jitsu studio. I'm like, I'm going to start doing this.
Dude, you'd be amazing.
But I might be just too damn old.
You'd be amazing.
Dude, I don't have any pain or injury.
Yeah.
And I don't want any. And I got a buddy of mine who's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's always going in and getting surgeries. Mm-hmm. And dude, he's not even 40 yet. And he's like going in to get my neck done. It's like, dude, I don't want all that shit.
Well, just take it.
I'm a black belt in Ching Ching Pow. Have you heard of that?
What's that? Money.
Ching Ching.
Yeah. Oh, Ching Ching Pow.
Yeah.
I like that one the best.
Stop the bullet. Let's see you stop the bullet.
Oh, you can't. So martial arts is just going to make you a better person.
How so though?
Huh?
Because you learn discipline and self-control and all that.
So yes, absolutely. It makes you, so what martial arts does is it elevates you in different, so whatever you're missing in your life, it'll elevate it. So the kids come in, some of the kids come in our school and they lack confidence. They're down here in confidence. Go break that board. Oh, confidence just went up. Go break a brick. Confidence just went up. Balance. Balance is tough for everybody, right? Hey, let's do this kick. Oh, I fell on the ground. My rule is in sparring or training, it's okay to fall. It's not okay not to get up. Get up. And then once you get back up and get back up, you're taught to get back up. And then you just go through hard things. Doing hard things doesn't make you weaker, makes you harder. That's the key. But if you do soft things the whole time, your whole life, what are you going to be?
Soft.
Right. Go do something hard.
Did you teach your kid this?
Oh yeah, my son's killing it.
How old's your kid now?
32.
And
I got a daughter that's 32.
And he's 32. A black belt?
He's a black belt, and he takes, I could hear When he talks to people, he does teaching. He does a lot of public speaking, and all of that stems from martial arts. You learn to be confident. And you know what scared me the most when I tested for black belt? You got to do a speech to everybody in the stands. Public speaking.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that.
Guess why?
That's part of it.
That's part of it. It
Could that fail you?
Pardon?
Could that fail you?
Absolutely. You're going to keep going and talking to people until you get it right. I did pretty good, and I liked it. And I got the feedback. Hey, you're doing awesome. That made me feel good. And I did some public speaking at General Motors a couple times. That was a lot of fun too. And what I do is I always, pick on people and I show them, what do you think's hard? What do you think's hard? Whatever you think hard is hard to you, right? And then there's always an engineer. There's always a little girl engineer. I go, here's a board. Who wants to break this board? And you see all these big guys. I want to break a board. I want to break a board. Who thinks they can't break this board? It's all the little girls, 105 pounds, soaking wet, holding a brick. I said, come on up. You're going to break a board. And then I go, come on, I'm going to show you how to do this. Let me see your technique. Hammer fist. Hit my hand harder. Okay, I know how much it takes to break that board. And as soon as she hits my hand hard enough to break that board, I put the board in front of her. I go, don't listen to anything else in your head. Listen to the instructor. Hit it as hard as you can. Bam! And then they break it. I had one girl at GM cry on me. And I didn't understand. That was my luck too, right? And I'm like, did I do something wrong? Did she hurt herself? What's going on? I've been wanting to do this for years and you made me do this and I feel so good about myself. I go, yeah, because you thought you couldn't do it.
And you remember bust a knuckle?
Let's not go down that route. But yeah, one time I showed my pastor how to break a bat and he busted his hand.
Yeah, because I mean, there's no way to instantly strengthen and condition your hand. Like you ever watch the kickboxers? They kick like hard shit with their shin. Mm-hmm. Well, I barely touch my shin. That shit hurts. So I mean, I bet you there's been someone that's broken their leg thinking that that's just a matter of being able to take pain. But there's some technique, obviously, isn't there, and some conditioning to the bone.
So. It's called body conditioning. It's called Wolff's Law. So what I can do against a brick is what you cannot do against a brick right now. But what happens is at purple belt, we show you how to break a board. Right? Then you just break a couple boards of purple belt. Then you go to green belt, break a couple more boards. In the red belt, you test, you got to break. You have a bunch of people around you and you got to do a breaking demo. Boom, 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 boom. You got to be proficient at it. And then at my school, we challenge them to go to the U.S. Open. The kids are adults. I've got several people that are world-class champions at my school. One of them freaking killing it. He's got more trophies than me now. But what it does is it pushes you harder and harder and harder until you find your limits. What if you don't have a limit? You know how I got into professional breaking? By accident. This is an accident. So what happened was one of my students goes, I want to go to the Arnold Schwarzenegger Sports Festival. I'm like, I don't. She goes, you're my instructor. You got to come. I don't want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, drive to Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio for 4 hours and then, wait for you to test and then drive home for another 4 hours. I don't want to do it. We're going. And then impetuous youth, come on, we're going. And I looked online. This is 2011. I'm learning how to do stuff online. And I saw, they got breaking there. And I'm pretty good at breaking. I've won every local tournament at my school. I'm really good at breaking. Let me try this out. So I go there and I get there and I say, hey, I'm the happy idiot. I'd signed up. I go, what's going to win it? I went for foot stomp wood, foot stomp brick, and hand brick. And I go, what's going to win it? And the guy goes, 10 foot, 5 hand. I'm like, all right, give me 15 bricks. And back then in my school, I'm breaking 1-inch bricks. And he goes, where's the bricks? He goes, over there. I paid the money, went back over there, came back, those are 2-inch bricks. I've never broken a 2-inch brick before. He looked at me and goes, this is the pro level. That's all we break. I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong spot. The enemy, the fear was coming in. You know what he's telling me? You're not good enough. You can't do it. You're going to embarrass yourself. You know what I said? You're right. I'm not going to show up. Absolutely. Nope, not going to do it. And I was going to fake an injury, just not show up for the event. Right. And then my belief in God, I saw this kid breaking, did a Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and he went up and broke something. I told the guy running the place, I said, hey, well, he can't do that. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, he's taking the architect of the universe on a mortal competition. He can't do that. He looks at the kid, looks at me, he goes, nothing in the rule says he can't do it. And I go, I can do it? He goes, yeah. I go, no, it's not fair for you. And I'm surrounded by these circus freaks. This one dude that took a picture of me, his arm was bigger than my head. Right? And I go, hey, Showman. His name is Showman from Brazil. This is a world tournament. And I go, hey, man, show me how to do this. He goes, let me see your technique. You got to do 0 to 60, 0 to 100 in a second. Just jump up in the air. And he shows me all this stuff. And I'm like, thanks, man. At least I got an education out of this. I'm still not going to show up, but I got an education out of it. And then I get up for my event, and I set up 8 2-inch bricks. And you're timed. You got 6 minutes. And I go, it put up 8. And I go, time, Mannino. I go, all right, Mannino. I hear a little voice in the back of my head. God ever talk to you? A little whisper. Put the 9th one down. Never broke a 2-inch brick before. There's 8 sitting there. That's not enough for you. Put the 9th one down. Hey, I messed up. I miscounted. Can I put another brick on? They said, yeah, go ahead. Time Mannino again. What does it matter? Right? I get up, I go, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And my pastor always said, take God with you, whatever you do. My businesses, and I never took him to martial arts. This is the first time I go, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I go, you want me to ask you to come with me? I go, let's go for a ride. I jumped up in the air. Boom! 9 of 9. Nobody was more surprised than me. Nobody. I won first place. All the other guys had 15, 12, because you have to break more than me. And I went first, and none of them could do it. I was on cloud 12. I could have pushed my car home. But what God was trying to tell me in that moment really blew my mind. This blew my mind. Showman won the heavy. There's only 2 divisions, lightweight and heavyweight. Showman won the heavyweight. You know what he broke?
8.
9 of 10. Whatever you don't break counts against you. I would have won the heavyweight division against this guy that's forearms bigger than my head. And then God was saying, it doesn't matter what's stacked up in front of you. It doesn't matter who's around you. Just take me with you. Ever since then, I got 10 first place trophies. 10 first place trophies, 2 ISK. No, I'm sorry, 11 first place. I won last year. 11 first place trophies, 2 ISK belts, and 1 world record. And all I did was take God with me.
Are you still doing it every day?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to the U.S. Open again this year, which is July 15th. So anyone can get into these, or do you have to like earn your way? So there's at the event, the reason I got to the U.S. Open was I was talking to the guy that was running the place. Name's Ralph Bergamo, amazing individual, 9th or 10th on right now. I go, hey, when's your next event? He goes, the U.S. Open. I go, how do you qualify? He looks at my bricks. He goes, you just did. Awesome. Can I take God with me? He goes, absolutely. Now, every time I go there, they're like, oh, he's showing up. They don't like me seeing him. My students show up and they're terrified of them too.
Do you think it's strength, technique? What is it?
Yes. It's everything. So what most people don't understand when it comes, wood, I can show you how to break I was going to show you how to break a board. Next time I come in, we're going to do a demo.
Can't I?
Yeah. How many boards can you break? You don't know.
Depends on how hard they are.
No, you don't know. I'd have to show you how to break a couple, and we put up 10, see how many you can break out of the 10. Then you know what you can break. Now I can get you better. Now I can show you to break 8, 10, 12, 14. But I got to know where you're at to get you where you need to go.
That's some business too.
It is business. Martial arts showed me how to do business.
So before you started buying multifamily and flipping, you were in construction.
Correct.
Were you building houses?
Yeah. We built nice houses. We did starter mansions. We did one on Lake St. Clair. We won an award for in Detroit Home Magazine's on staircase. And
so that's got to help though.
It helps.
Because you know what reno's going to cost. And that's another fear that I had. Like I get in there, I'm like, you know what? We could probably fix this up for $50,000. Then you get in there and it's like, oh, I didn't know that was the case. And now next thing you know, you're $150,000.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, that'll screw you, wouldn't it?
Rehab messes everybody up. And so we have a different system than most. We do so many a year that we have a standardized pricing sheet. That lock on that door, We're going to pay $15 to put it on, and the lock's $15. We're going to give the contractor $30 to do it. And we have the spreadsheet that we have a Home Depot list of that lock, that door, this casing, this base, all laid out. And then we just put the item numbers in. 12 of these, 9 of these, 6 of these, 5 of these, 4 of these, 12 of these. And then the contractor just takes that list to Home Depot, and they know exactly what the SKU number and item number is. That goes to the house. So the contractor doesn't have to bid the job. He doesn't have to go get the material. He just sends it to Home Depot and it's delivered. All he has to do is show up and do the work. And we have a set price for each thing. Now, if you go there and say, how much is it going to cost? You'll get one guy to say that's a $50 lock. And you get another guy that's a $10 lock. We pay $15. We know what the cost is before we walk into the unit.
Well, there's the advantage right there.
Right. That's another bomb. I swear. If you know that, if you know the rehab cost of anything before you walk in, you're at the advantage.
Yeah. Well, again, I was trying to figure out, like, why would I, go with you as opposed to some other syndication or some other investment fund? And it's because I would say your construction knowledge.
Well, my experience, and I look for partners, the GPs that don't fail. So a lot of people have failed. I talked to one guy I was thinking to be a partner with, and he told me how in 2008 he got thrown in jail for commingling funds. Automatically disqualified from working with me. So I only find great partners on the GPs and great LP partners.
You can go to jail for making the mistake of commingling funds?
Yes. So in a syndication, he's got 2 syndications. This syndication is killing it. This syndication's not killing it. He took money out of this to fund this and didn't tell the LPs on this one. That's integrity too. So I'm not really.
It's integrity for sure, but like you go to jail for doing it wrong. Did he even know that was unethical?
He did it 10 years for it.
That's a lot of time for making a stupid mistake.
A lot of people do stupid things.
Well, I know somebody that went to jail that I guess some dude in Dominican Republic was building these kick-ass units, and it was like crushing. So he started telling everybody, hey, I put my money in this thing, man. This thing's awesome. You should put your money in this. You should put your money in this. This is great, dude. Look, I'm getting all this money. And he made a deal with the person that was building all the buildings to, hey, I'll raise you some money. And the guy's like, let's go. And it was working. I mean, it was real. It wasn't fake at all. Mm-hmm. And then apparently he told everybody, you should put money in this, dude. It's down in the Dominican Republic. We're doing this. We're doing that. Look at my returns. Look at my returns. Mm-hmm. Well, eventually the dude that was building them took the money and mm-hmm. Well, I'm up here telling everybody to put money in this thing.
Right.
And I was getting a little sliver of the funds.
Right.
Obvious, because he was making a commission on it.
Right.
Quite a bit, by the way.
Okay.
And that's where you got to go like, well, did you really need to make that kind of margin? But dude, that's just capitalism. But
capitalism gone wrong.
But he went to jail.
Right.
This guy, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah, he did.
What did he do?
He had to do something to go to jail. He told you to invest down there. That guy ran off, and I made so much money that you're now looking at me like I was part of it. Right. So I only deal in America. I don't deal overseas because overseas is just problematic. Now, with me being a dealer like that, I'm a builder. I'd jump right in there and finish the deal. And then we never give people more money than. So when our contractors, the first thing a contractor is going to tell you, I need 50%, right? Not with us. You need 50%? We know exactly how much the material costs. Get the material to the site and we'll pay you for the material. And 10% more for doing the effort. Right. So, and if it's there, it shows up, they take a picture of it, send it to us on company cam. Yeah, there's your money. But what happens most, the people that lose the most, just inexperience and say, yeah, here's half of it down first. And then the guy takes off. They don't know how to hire a good contractor. Hiring a good contractor is tough. I can talk to somebody in 5 minutes and tell them if they're a good contractor. First thing I ask, you got workers' comp and liability? No. Have a nice day.
What if they say yes? Do you say, prove it?
Well, there's a binder. Show me the binder. Show me your insurance company. Show me your binder. And then sometimes they try and sneak it and say they don't have workers on the binder. It says liability. It doesn't say workers' comp. It's got 2 check marks. I go, hey, where's your workers' comp? Because I don't have it. I'm like, have a nice day.
See, this shit though. That's why you have the advantage, and that's why I've been like worried about like going out there and just screw it. I'll just learn myself.
No. Partner with somebody that knows what they're doing. Partner with somebody that knows what they're doing. That's how you got to learn.
So you're out there finding winners, knocking them dead. You've never had a loser?
I haven't had a loser in multifamily, and the most I lost in 2000. You went through 2008, right? I lost $6,000 and I was pissed.
So investors that are listening or would be investors, that's why.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm thinking, what's the difference between you and everybody else out there doing it? Well, again, I mean, you got construction knowledge, so you're not getting dicked. You have all the systems and processes in place. So it's very difficult to get one by you with your background. And then
find good deals, find good partners.
You're able to find the ones and know the value. So it's like you wouldn't even get in a deal unless you put money in all your deals.
Absolutely. So I tell her, yeah, absolutely.
How much money could you invest if a bunch of bomb squatters said, "Dude, this is my man," bang, and start throwing money your way?
Bomb squatters, we have to have a conversation. We got to talk. We got to find out what your goals are. And then I only find good deals are hard to find. I only find 2 or 3 a year. So don't think, hey, I want to put all this money in now. You hold that for a minute. Let me find a good deal. I have to vet the GPs. I got to go to the property. I got to see the rents. I got to see the tenants. I go around and ghost vet. And I look at the tenants. I talk to the tenants. Hey, how do you like this place? The last one I went to, he goes, yeah, I love the place. And he said, I go, hey, listen, would you, are you going to re-up next year? He goes, depending on how much more it's going to go up. I go, what if it went up $50? He goes, absolutely. I know he's a happy tenant, right? I'm not coming back. I'm not going to pay the bill. They're not unhappy tenants.
See, that's another thing I was always wondering, like, what happens when you say, hey, rent's going up? Like, they don't really have a choice, do they? But they'll just move.
Correct.
But where are they moving to over $50?
Well, so it's not, what's your plan? So if we find an asset, they're the asset we found that was $600 a month, Nowhere was renting for under $900, right?
And how do you get this information? Knock on doors and say, what are you paying for rent?
There's all kinds of software. There's Best Places to Live. There's apartments.com. You go to apartment.com in the area, and then you go to Crime Spot to see if there's crime in the area. I saw, and I vet out fast. I have this one mentor of mine. She called me up and said, hey, listen, there's an apartment deal. I go, let me hear about it. And she told me about it. I go, where's that? She goes, Evansville, Indiana. I said, out. Right there. Not in my market. That's not a market I want.
But it was a good deal?
No, she had to take it back from the GPs.
But was it a good deal?
It was in Evansville, Indiana.
I don't care.
It's not a deal.
But no. Barring that, was it a good deal?
That is one of the most predominant factors is where it sits.
I know, but the reason I ask you is because I know somebody who goes around with a bunch of badasses. Let's say Navy SEALs, just because that means like badasses.
5th degree black belts.
He freaking looks for those because they're such killer deals because nobody damn wants them. And he goes in with some ex-cop buddies and literally boots out the drug dealing crime element, installs new lighting, and
surveillance system now that can read license plates. And if that person's on the on parole or America's Most Wanted, then the police will be notified from that system. Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, but like this guy does it. So like if you have good deals, but I don't touch that bullshit. This guy looks for that.
I'll give him a bunch of numbers. Those are Class D assets. I'm not interested in. I like Class B assets. Things that are going to appreciate. I don't want effort. I'm too old for this anymore. I don't want effort.
But what if you make a Class D? You boot out the criminal element, which is what he does, and it becomes a Class C or B.
We've done that. It's not fun. I like the Class B properties, A, B, C, and D. I like the Class B properties because when hard times come, like they're coming now, the A's can drop to B's, right? If you got an A, who's going to drop from A's? There's no higher than A's. $2,400 a month rents for 1,000 square feet somewhere. In Florida, it's mostly, 3,000.
Is that how you class it, the amount of rent?
So it's not really a class. A class is Class A assets are newer buildings within the last 5 years. Granite countertops, new sinks, new faucets, new pool, new everything, brand new everything, right? Those are new builds, right? Anything 5 to 15 years old is a Class B. Anything 15 to 30 years old is Class C. And then there's the hood. You know, we've tried that. I don't like that. We tried it one time. It's a horrible model. I don't like it. And some people love it.
It ain't like you were afraid to go there.
I'm not afraid to go anywhere. Fear doesn't have a part of me.
So, and you've been married. We'll cap it with the marriage. Well, first of all, I'd like to tell people in the bomb squad, because like there's a lot of real estate people both wanting to get in it and are in it. And I think they've heard enough to probably want to invest. If they're passive investors and they just like their money in real estate, multifamily,
right?
Where do they go? ARC Investment
Ventures. So AI Ventures LLC. And then you can just email me at mike@AIVenturesLLC.com.
Is that a accredited only?
Each deal is different. Good question. That's a great question. Accredited and non-accredited investors.
You can do
so
non-accredited.
That's what the conversation, huh?
You can do non-accredited.
Mm-hmm. So we have a non-accredited deal, but I have to vet them out, make sure they qualify. There's certain qualifications for accredited and non-accredited, and there's certain deals. So I match up the investor with the deal, right? I'm looking for like doctors. I love doctors.
What about me? Like if I wanted to throw a little bit at you,
I'd find the right deal for you.
But why does it have to? I mean, the right deal for me is the return.
I got a return that we might invest in, that you might like, but I got to sit down and talk to you and see what you're looking for. What's your goals? I want people to get out of this 8%.
My goals are to accelerate my holdings. I'm like the one where you said never sell. I don't want to sell the some bitches. I want to own them forever. Well, a guy I met one time, he started out as a developer. He would build them, and then pretty soon he would, but he was rich as shit. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, the trick is to never sell.
Yeah.
I said, what's the trick, dude? He said, never sell.
Right.
Don't ever sell it. And I said, what do you mean? He said, dude, listen, I guarantee you take any person that knows what they're doing,
right,
and you ask them, out of all the shit you sold, if you could get it back, would you? And they'd say, yes.
You know my biggest mistake in this world?
Selling
all my houses. If I would have just flipped or built all the houses to rent, I'd be a billionaire right now. It's so easy. And I made that mistake.
Yeah, never sell. Is that a good rule?
Pardon?
Never sell is a good rule?
Never sell is for real estate is a great rule. Well, it's the number one rule. But let's say you buy a Class B asset, the area drops to Class C, drops to Class D, then you sell. So it's individually, but typically no. So if you can, do you think cash is king?
Well, I already know it's not.
What is?
Cash flow.
There you go. I was going to drop that bomb, but you knew it. Smart man.
Well, yeah. Anyone that's listening to my podcast knows that. That's why I have a feeling you're going to get a little inundated with some people because, dude,
I'd love it.
You know what you're doing. And that's why I don't invest with a bunch of these people, because they're going out there and they want my money to go make money. And I'm like, well, dude, if you were so damn good, you'd already be doing it. Like, well, why are you wanting my money to go find a property? I got another buddy that I'm about to throw a little money to. He develops, but what he does is he has some deal. I don't know how he does it, but he'll build 2 strip malls,
right?
Little ones, not big ones, but he'll build 2 strip malls. Somehow, some way, he's already pre-leased it to Chevron or some big ass, credible anchor. Mm-hmm. So he'll build 2 pre-leased, sell 1 and get the other one basically for free. And now he just owns it. Mm-hmm. I'm like,
exactly.
Well, dude, let me do it. And he's like, well, next time I do it, I'll tell you. And he tells me, and then I'm always like, well, how do I know, is it a deal? So this time he built 2, let's say 80,000 square foot warehouses, 2, sold 1, kept 1. Mm-hmm. And I've been watching this dude for like 8 years, and he just keeps building 2, sells 1, keeps 1.
Smart.
And I'm like, dude, that's the type of shit I want to get into.
I know the feeling.
What about an apartment building where you're looking for, $100,000 here, $500,000 there, and I just want to do the whole thing?
That's something different. It's called a joint venture. Now you're so it's not a GP LP. It's a joint venture. I've got a few of those, and you want to be the funder and I'll be the runner. Great.
But do I own it when we're done, or do we own it?
You own it, or you own it either way, LP or JV. You own it.
Well, you own a fraction of it.
You still have to sign on the title. So
I know, but like someone else is in charge, whether it sells, whether it doesn't sell, whether it's
people in charge. I want GPs to run the deal. Here's one of the deals I just looked at. So the split being 20-80, right? LPs get the 80%. You want to do all that work for 20%? I don't. I want to be in that deal. I want to be in the 80-20 split.
I just don't want people making decisions to benefit them when it technically wouldn't benefit me.
So that's great. You got to partner up with the right people. That's really the key. Finding the right people. And I find people with ethics and don't lose. And then I talk to their previous investors. Here's a key that you could, here's another bomb. If you're going to hire a contractor, how do you know you're going to hire the right contractor? Make sure they got workers' comp liability and they got a website and everything looks good, right? It looks good on paper. Then you're going to ask for referrals, right? Don't ask for referrals. Because I've been working for 30 years. I can get 5 people to tell you I'm freaking awesome. I want to see everybody. Find out who they're dealing with right now. Give me the phone number of the guy that you're working with right now and the guy you worked with yesterday. Give me those numbers. How are they treating you? Because a contractor can flip in a set. Just like you said, the guy just flaked out, right?
And you will call them.
I'll call. If you don't call them, it's your fault.
Yeah. See, that's because I'll say, give me your references. You'll give them to me. And the fact that you gave them to me makes me go, okay, you must.
That's a good start. But if you don't call them, if you do something wrong, it's your fault. You got to take ownership of it.
How long ago did you get into it?
What?
Buying multifamily.
Multifamily about 5 or 6 years ago.
And ever multifamily is better than flipping.
I'm not paying taxes anymore legally. What do you think?
Yeah. You do that on flips?
No. You can't do it on any other asset.
Why?
Cost segregation. This is the key. So in active income, there's only active, passive, active, portfolio, and passive, 3 kinds of income and taxes, right? Active, you pay the most taxes. Portfolio, you pay taxes, right? Your stocks, right? Whenever you sell, you pay, right? In passive income, you typically don't pay taxes.
Well, there's one more tax you're not mentioning.
What?
Dumb tax.
Oh, dude, that's the most expensive. That is the most expensive tax on the planet.
Yeah, I pay a lot of that.
I'm sorry.
It's just not getting in, not taking action, not doing it. I was called when crypto or Bitcoin was $50 a pop, and I'm like, "What do you do with it?
Yeah,
can I buy a couch with it?" They're like, "No, you could, I guess, if someone had, dumb. I should have just bought it." Well, and then when I did finally get some, it was $600. It rose, and then it started to come down a little bit. And I told the guy that was telling me about crypto. He goes, "Don't sell it, dude." I'm like, "Dude, it's dropping. The bottom's dropping. It's gonna be worth 0. You're full of shit." And I start selling it all. Well, dude, if I should just hold. And then I remembered the billionaire saying, "Never sell, never sell."
So that's the biggest problem is people, and this is what I love about multifamily. It's a 5-year hold time, and you can't. So in the LP position, you can't sell. The GPs can sell, right? So when times go bad, everybody worries about their money, and they make bad decisions when they're afraid. They make bad decisions. A sell. When's the best time to sell? When the stock drops or when the stock's high?
To sell high.
Right. But what do most people do?
When it's dropping. Because they're afraid that it's never coming back.
Fear.
Stocks, I'm just out on that game.
I've been out of it for years.
Yeah, I don't like stocks. You got to be an insider. You got to know some shit.
There you go.
You got to be like, it's an inside game, dude. And I'm not on the inside, so I ain't
You're not
playing.
on the inside. Exactly. They'll know. Not only they're going to know when the stock goes up and down, they're going to make it go up and down.
They do.
They're going to make it go up. You're going to see it go up. They're going to take the ride up, and then you're going to see it go up. And when it gets to a certain point, you're going to invest, and they're going to pull out. Yeah. That's the game.
Well, that's why I'm always thinking about like multifamily. If you're willing to sell me your damn building, why don't you want to keep it? So I'm like, oh man, there must be something wrong.
Great question. So a 5-year hold time is typical. 3 to 7 years we call is a hold time, right? You made your money. Get out. You're going to pay the investors.
But it's cash flow. It's not about making money.
I want
cash flow. I want cash flow.
I got you. So
because I'm wasting it anyway.
Right.
So like if I took, let's say it's 10 million,
right.
I've wasted 10 million. If I'd have just took the 10 million and put it over here with just cash flow and never did anything, I wouldn't have the 10 million anyway, but I'd have that cash flow. So if you ever sell that, well, now I got the money again. The fuck am I going to do with this?
Put it back into multifamily in another deal.
Yeah, I got to put it away. So you're not going to get the 10 million either direction. So why sell the unit and get the money back out?
Well, it's an exit, and sometimes we don't.
Can't I just borrow on that asset?
Yeah.
And then I don't pay taxes on that.
Now me and you got to start doing the LPs. I mean, the JVs, joint ventures. Then we can do anything we want because there's only 3 or 4 people in on it, and we know what we want to do with it. Have a clear idea up front what we want to do, and what I like doing is buying an asset, fixing it up, and it's just like the Burr method, right? Fix it up, rehab it, and then refinance, pull our money out, and then let it ride. Just let it ride.
That's what I'm interested. I'm gonna give you my number, so maybe we'll do some JVs, or maybe I'll throw you some money because like it's better than just sitting where it is. But
it's losing money sitting in the people. I have a heart for doctors, and you know what I do? I'm doing a little podcast, nothing like yours, and it's
what's it called?
Unsubscripted Success. Michael Mannino and Nearman Hampton. And you know what I'm learning when I talk to people? Most people don't know how to invest. It breaks my heart. They go, I just got my money with my stock guy. How much are you making a year? Everybody gives me a blank stare. I don't know.
Because I don't know. It depends.
They don't know. I said every year. So in our deals with the cash flow, every month we tell you there's a software that tells you how much you made that month.
Well, I'm worse than that. Ask me how much I make a month.
How much you make a month? I love you, brother, but
I don't know. I just hired a full-time. She's a financial
planner,
analyst, and controller, not planner.
Okay.
She's like a bookkeeper,
right?
CPA type counter. Mm-hmm. She doesn't work for any of my companies.
Nice.
She just works for me.
Good.
Because it dawned on me the other day. Someone said, "How much you making now, dude?" Some dude from high school. I said,
I don't know.
I don't know. And I don't. And I'm like, dude, this is dumb. I don't know how much my expenses are. Now, again, I give you a rough idea, but like, I want to know every penny, where it is, where it went, what did I make, and how much is it? And I don't have the answer. And that, my friend, is stupid. And I'm done being stupid. I could be literally being stole from and I wouldn't even know it.
Dane Cook lost $30 million to his brother.
Yeah. To his brother of all people.
Oh, dude, that was
so let's close it with the marriage. Because again, 34 years, same woman the whole time, dude. That's freaking impressive right there.
Thank you.
But again, I mean, there had to be some rough patches. No,
there's never been rough patches. There's been arguments. And
but how do you know?
How do you know what?
How do you know there's never been infidelity?
I'm home every night. She doesn't see any.
But you're gone every day.
I'm not every day. I'm gone. That's a good point.
They don't just do shit at nighttime.
That's a good point. Great point. My wife is the perfect girl for me.
We all think that.
She's the perfect girl for me. I just because of 38, 39 years. I knew her 4 years before I got married.
Okay, so here's the question. Let's just assume she's great.
She is.
But let's say, for example, you came home and you found out, well, maybe not as great as you thought.
Okay.
What would you do?
Find out what I did wrong to make her do that. That's tough. You got to work on yourself.
Responsibility right there.
Yeah.
So if
did I do anything wrong to cause this to happen? So if she's humping the neighbor
and you found out, you're going to go,
what did I do to make that happen?
But you're not mad. You're not divorced.
First, I got to find out what I did wrong.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Nope, not to me. See,
it does.
That's why I wanted to ask you, because like you probably got wise, sage answers. If I went home and found out my wife cheated,
yeah,
she's gone. I don't give a shit
what you did.
Well, I think it's an ego thing. I don't care what I did. You cheated, bitch. Get out. That's what I'd say.
Ego.
And I wouldn't say get out because we have kids. So right. I'd pack my shit, go get me another place, and almost be like, I'd be heartbroken. Why? Because I think mine's that too. But it's like, what if they're not? Because this all comes up because I talked to a buddy of mine. And by the way, I had a guy on my podcast that was running for some office around here.
Right.
He died and still won the election. He did. He was dead and he was elected post his death. But anyway, he was sitting over here and he was telling me, dude, I don't care how good your wife is. You know what she's doing? I said, what? He said, I guarantee you, dude, if you've been with them long enough, they're running down the street and they, getting banged in the 7-Eleven bathroom by a biker.
Right.
And I'm like, why by a biker? He goes, just someone different than you. And I'm like, dude, not mine. And he got me thinking for a minute. I went home. I go, babe, where are you going during the day? Because obviously we always think ours is the best and they never would. Well, he's got me convinced, or he had me convinced it is possible. And I started thinking, you know what? It is possible. How do you keep the marriage to where, no, it isn't possible and it isn't happening?
Great question. Great question. You know what the answer is? Be the best person that she could get. If you're the best person she can get, then she's not going to look anywhere else.
You think?
My experience.
Well, again, best person?
Best person.
Sometimes maybe they just want a different flavor.
Well, most people have a different, you have a different experience than I did. Here's why I say it's a different experience. I met her at 17.
Well, that's why I asked, because, dude, the longer you're with them, the more likely it is they need a new flavor.
No, and the more likely is they don't want to. I'm looking at stats. Now you got me thinking, but you got stats. And the people that marry young are generally married forever.
I wish I could call my buddy who recently, and that's why I wanted to know, because, I sure hate to lose my marriage after I've been married twice. Didn't want to lose the first one, but she was just like, she wanted to be the boss, and I'm sorry.
It's not going to work with you.
I can't, dude. And I'm not the boss, but I left my house when I was 16 because I didn't like being told what to do. And I just don't like being told what to do. I could go want to do something. You tell me to do it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know if I want to do it anymore because you told me to do it. So I don't like it. And she just kept trying to control everything. And right. I lasted 10 years, which is amazing. So I got divorced. I'm like, shit. Well, again, now I'm married 15 years. Great girl.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Lovely. 3 kids. I'd hate for that to end. Mm-hmm. But my buddy who teaches guys how to get their wife to fall in love with them again, because after a while, dude, it can get a little bit, roommate-ish. So anyway, he makes a living doing it.
Nice.
And teaches guys, all kinds of guys. And he goes through, like, let's say it did happen and you ended up with him. He's saying there's stories and stories and stories of guys that have been married 30 years and nothing's ever happened, and they're the happiest people, and they're the happiest people. And I said, dude, what are you saying? They all do it. And he said, brother, they all want to get what he was inferring is banged Sex. In a different way. Sex. But in a different way. In other words, oh yeah, my girl, she doesn't really do that. And, she's classy.
That's wrong.
And then he's like, dude, they're all getting it, just not from you. And I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, be honest. He goes, brother, I'm talking to guys that have been married 20, 30 years and they find out that their girl's this, and wives that find out their guy's gay or perverted somehow. Like, they like this and that, and they've never done it.
So I talked to a bunch of girls and I say this one thing. You know all that vile, disgusting stuff you want to do to your wife? Do it. They'll love it. And most
what
people
if they don't?
What if they don't?
What if they tell you
then you're doing it wrong. Then you're doing it wrong. So
maybe they're not like that.
It's not. I'm gonna get hammered by the bomb squad. It's not that a girl doesn't like her hair pulled. She doesn't like the way you pull her hair.
That's what my buddy says.
Right. So you gotta learn to pull her hair the right way. Not too hard, not too soft. It's not pulling the hair like this. It's going up here and doing that. It's, and then you experiment. Well, I experiment with my wife constantly until she says no. I'm like, where's your limit? Because I'm going to find it.
But do you ever have to communicate?
I'll communicate. How could you not be married and communicate?
See, there's where I was heading. You got to
communicate.
You got to communicate.
You do.
And then you got to include.
Right.
A lot of dudes will go to work all day, come home. They don't want to talk anymore. They've been talking all day. And now and that's when they end up finding out, dude, she's banging your neighbor.
So Jordan Peterson said it best. If you have 90 minutes with your wife a week, odds are you're going to be okay. The majority of the time is you're concentrating more on work than your wife. And so balance in martial arts, balance in life is I do enough work, but I also take care of my wife too. And I make sure that she's happy. Right. And my dad said this a long time ago. If you try and make a girl happy your whole life, you'll have wasted a lifetime. It's make her happy to a point, right? Do only things you can do to make her happy. You know, a lot of people.
Your dad taught you that?
My dad said, if you try to figure out women and you spend a lifetime doing it, you'll have wasted a lifetime. I understand what he says now, being married for 34 years. Women think and act on emotions. Men think and act on logic and reason. It's hard to get those two together, right? But, you know, there's a lot of classes I took and, you know, I worked on it. And you have to, you know. And
you know what my dad told me?
What?
If the 8:15 bus, if you miss the 8:15 bus, don't worry, the 8:30's coming around soon.
That's a good point. My dad got a divorce and he ended up dating girls that were my brother's age.
See?
And so it's
nothing wrong with that.
Right. Well, I like the one I got. I really like the one I got.
And that's cool. And that's the key is like, how do you find the right one? How do you know when she's the right one?
I prayed about it and she said she prayed about it. And then we met each other a week later. If you invoke God in everything you do, you'll be surprised how your life goes.
There's another one. Let's leave it at that.
I'll do that.
Mike, keep on breaking. Keep on freaking finding the deals. Folks, if you guys want to invest with a person that knows what they're doing, or at least it seems like it.
I know what I'm doing.
Go to AII Investment.
AI Ventures LLC.com. And then the email is mike@AIVenturesLLC.com.
Tell them you're from the bomb squad.
I want a bomb squatter.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that, like, you know, everybody understands one thing. Money has to be deployed or it's becoming worthless. It's a tool. So again, if you got a little money hanging around, accredited, not accredited, interested in making a return, getting some depreciating assets, understanding how it works, get a hold of Mike Mannino. If you like breaking bricks, see him at the US Open. Go listen to his podcast. What is it again?
Driven Unsubscripted Success. And it's about how you got successful and then what you do with your money afterwards. And what I'm learning a lot is most people don't know how to invest. And I think about it, you know, the schools don't teach you that. You know, what did you learn in school about investing?
Nothing.
Do you think that's an accident?
No, personally, no.
So I want to teach people how to invest safely in multifamily. It's the greatest asset class. It's the safest asset class. Number one reason why it's the safest asset class is protected by the number one force in this universe, the U.S. military. So we don't get buildings blown up very often. You know what I mean? Other countries get blown up. The U.S. military protects our assets. And United States real estate is the most sought after real estate in the world. I'll take it.
Till next time, folks. Keep it real.